Hi, my name is Lettie and I create brushes, workbooks and tutorials for Procreate. If you've been here before, you'll know that I have a sweet spot for cute characters. So, how about a cute cat animation for today? Can you believe that we can do this using only 4 frames? Yes, this is super easy. As usual, the only thing you need to follow along with this tutorial is an iOS device and Procreate. But if you support me on Patreon or Gumroad, make sure to download the color palette and workbook with my sketches and written instructions. You'll find the links in the description below. Let's start by sketching a cute character. So, sketch layer, choose the color you usually use for this task, light blue for me, and well, just draw an egg shape for the body of your character and an oval for the head. If you have the workbook, you can use the reference guides to draw many different cute characters. Let me show you how this works. Grab the 6B pencil from the sketching set and let's draw some ears, for example. What ears does your cute character have? Elephant ears? If so, trace the corresponding lines on the reference with your pencil. These ears can also look good for a cute mouse. If you want to draw a cat or a fox, just trace this one. The small round one would look perfect for a cute bear, right? We want to do the same to sketch the legs. You can choose between little paws, bigger ones, wings, elephant legs, and here you can also trace bird feet. Here you have different tails and an additional cute character just to spice up the animation. I'm going to draw this cat. So, as I said before, the first thing we want to do is the sketch. Sketch layer, and since I have the guides, I can start off anywhere. I'll start with the ears. If you are on a blank canvas, remember that it's all about working from big primary shapes down to small details. So you want to start off with one or more basic shapes to represent the body and head of your character, and then use smaller shapes to put key features in place, just as we learned in the How to Draw Cute and Easy Animal Characters workbooks. Once the sketch of the main character is done, follow the same steps to draw the donut. First, the main shape, and then the details. Let's draw the cat's companion. Having more than one element to animate makes the animation more interesting. Now we are ready to take the next step, which is to do the line work. Let's reduce the opacity of the sketch. Pick a dark color. Go to the inking set and select the Studio pen. The size of this brush is sensitive to pressure, so use that to your advantage. Well, unless you prefer a consistent line weight. In that case, I recommend using the monoline brush. It's in the calligraphy set. By the way, would you be interested in tutorials where I explain the ins and outs of a specific default brush and then create an illustration with it? I think it could be a fun way to learn how to get the most out of every brush in Procreate. But there is no point in doing this if I am the only one who thinks so. So perhaps let me know in comments. Okay, I don't want the donut outlined, so my line work is done. What I do want is to have my line work separated from my color fills, to be able to recolor and adjust them independently anytime. The reference feature will help me do it. So tap on the line work layer, choose reference, and then select the color layer. From now on, any color we drop onto any layer will fill the shape we drop it on. See? To continue filling shapes, just tap on Continue Filling. To fill with a different color, simply change the color. And then tap the area you want to fill. Let's exit, continue filling with color drop, and use Alpha Lock to add a little bit of texture to these flat colors. Let's start with the fish. Select a slightly darker shade of orange, zoom in. By the way, I am using the dry ink, and just go over the fish. Change the color. Let's pick this one and paint its belly. Let's paint its fins a little darker. That's not enough. Yeah, that's better. I'll add these three colors to the color palette in case you want to use the same ones as me. And let's paint its cheeks. That's maybe too bright. Let's try the pale one. Well, okay. We can continue working on the cat now. Change the color, increase the size of the brush, and go over the whole cat, but be careful not to repaint the fish, as all the fills are on the same layer. Okay? Then choose a different color and paint its paws with it, or add any markings you like. Or if you have a cat, you can copy its pattern. Keep in mind that this line belongs to the donut, and what we paint behind the donut won't be visible, so don't put much effort into that. In fact, just make sure you go outside the line a bit and don't paint what won't show. Okay, let's change the color and paint the cheeks. And also the inner ears. How is our little cat looking? I think it's looking pretty cute. If you want to change the color of the line, like we did in the cute bunny tutorial, all you have to do is create a clipping mask. Let's turn off reference because we don't need it anymore. And well, in this project I am only going to change the color of the nose and whiskers. I want the nose to be salmon and white whiskers. Let's paint the eyes highlights on this layer too. 2 white specks will do. The main characters of this animation are done, so let's focus on painting the donut now. On a new layer or the donut layer if you're working in the workbook, and with a nice pale color, just outline the donut. Then select a slightly darker tone, color drop the color, turn on alpha lock, and finally pick the previous color and paint the donut. Since this color and this one are the same, we want to go to the cat color layer and change the color to another. How about this one? It looks good to me. Continue filling, one paw and the other. Let's turn off the visibility of the donut to see the fill correctly. There they are. Okay, let's continue painting the donut. So let's grab a different color. I need to see the sketch. And just paint a design you like for your donut. Since Alpha Lock is still on, it's very easy and fast to fill the shape with a larger brush without going outside the lines. If you want to give your illustration a more traditional painting feel, we can use clipping masks and blending modes to add more texture and color variation. We'll see what is this layer mask for later, okay? Now create a clipping mask and set its blend mode to multiply. And in the materials brush set, select the noise brush. Now you can add the same level of texture to the entire donut, but I realized that it looks nicer if we add some dark texture here and there and some light texture here and there as well. For the light texture, we want to create another clipping mask, but set its blend mode to screen. And repeat the same thing, but in different areas. Now let's add details. Go to the donut layer, pick blue, ink and set, and try ink. And let's paint some colored sprinkles here and there. I'll use only 3 different colors, but of course feel free to use as many as you want. Go to the multiply layer if you want to shadow the sprinkles. You can do this with pink or violet as you prefer. And let's add shading to the pink glaze as well. Why not? The donut is finished. What's next? Well, we want to see the cat paws. Yeah, that's what the layer mask is for. Lower the opacity of the layer to see the cat paws. Select the layer mask, the eraser tool, dry ink brush, and just get rid of the overlapping parts. One done, now the other. Both done. So, 100% opacity again. And let's get rid of the sketch. Our cat is floating, but it is floating in nothing. We need to draw a wave. Pick a color you like for the water. Dry ink again and trace my sketch or outline your own wave. If you are using the workbook, draw a vertical line here. So we can use color drop to fill this area with a slightly darker color. Turn on alpha lock. Pick the lighter turquoise color and paint the water using the largest brush possible. Okay, the illustration is done. Good job! Now it's time to bring it to life. There are many things that we can move to make our illustration come to life. In the steps included in the workbook, it is the waveform, the position of the donut, and the cat's tail and eyes. In this video, it will be the waveform and the position of the donut so that the cat appears to float, and also the fish will circle the cat's tail. So let's group all the elements of the animation but the wave layer. Duplicate the group and move it into the next frame. Let's get rid of the fish using the selection tool. Line work gone. Now go to the color layer, tap and hold to reload our last used selection, 3 fingers downwards, and cut. Now we want to draw the fish in the new position. Turn off the visibility of the group to see the template. Create a new layer for the line work. Change the color. And trace the fish. Create a new layer just below. Let's give the layers a proper name. Line work and color. And now make this layer our reference layer and just repeat the same steps we did before to color the fish. Color drop, alpha lock, change color, increase brush size, paint the entire fish, change color, Paint the fins. Change color. Paint the belly. Change color. And paint the cheeks. Well, one cheek in this case. Fish done. Okay, let's turn on the visibility of the group again. Now we want to move the cat and donut to the new position. Let me move the instructions above so we can see the template better. So what we need to do is to select the group and move it a little bit up first and then rotate it. To rotate it, just drag the green dot in the direction you want to rotate it. If it just snaps to a position you don't want, it's because you have these settings turned on. See? So turn them off and problem solved. The wave needs to be different to make it look like it is moving. So choose the same color you used for the first wave and repeat the same steps. Trace the sketch if you want it to look like mine. Draw a vertical line to close the area we need to fill. Select a slightly different color for your base. Color drop and oops. What do you think is wrong here? It is not the color drop threshold, see? What is it then? The fish is the key. We can only choose between filling the entire canvas or everything except the fish. That's because we have the fish line work layer set as a reference layer. Turn reference off, wave 2 layer, color drop, and now it works. Ta-da! Alpha lock the layer, pick the color for the water, increase the brush size, and cover the entire area. Two frames done, only two more to go. Duplicate the group again and move it into the next frame. Let's place the instructions above so we can see them. Now we see the fish from behind. So let's create the layers we need to draw it in its new position. Line work and color. Line work color, small brush size, line work done. That was easy. Let's go to the color layer and well, since this is so small, I think I won't even use the reference feature this time. Oops, I forgot the alpha lock is off. Done. Select the group because it's time to move the cat to its new position. Selection tool, rotate it, and move it a little bit up. That's it. Do the wave and this frame will be ready to go. Wave layer, watercolor, wave line, close the area to fill, slightly different color, color drop, alpha lock, increase the brush size, watercolor again, and paint the water area. Our animation is almost done. The last frame is the easiest of all, you'll see. Duplicate the group one last time and move it into the last frame. Place the instructions above. As you can see, the fish is in the same pose as in frame 2, but this time it is facing the other way. So we have two options here. The first and fastest option is to duplicate the fish from frame 2, move it in here, use the transform tool to flip it horizontally, and finally move it to its new position. The second option is to redraw it so it doesn't look exactly the same. I'll do the second super fast, and I'll be back with you in a second. Okay, now select the group. Move it a little down and rotate it to the left. Perfect. And now let's paint the last wave. I'll do it super fast again. Done. Now let's move the group just above the fish. And finally, let's take a look at our animation. Go to Actions, Canvas, and toggle on Animation Assist. Ready to see what we have done? Hit play. So cool, right? If you are using the workbook, you want to get rid of the instructions and make the canvas square. So go to Actions, Canvas, Crop and Resize. Tap on Settings, change the canvas width, and hit Done. Now select all the instructions layers and delete them. Let's check if everything looks good now. And export your animation. I make these videos and post them for you for free, but if you appreciate what I am making and you are able to, please consider supporting me on Patreon or Gumroad. You will find on Patreon more exclusive workbooks, Procreate brushes, files, color palettes, and also discount codes. If you can't afford it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like, share, and or comment my videos. That will help me reach more people. Well, thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!